caught it 2 yards past line of scrimmage and then ran it 42 more yards. He's bad. He is a bottom 5 quarterback in my opinion.
I don't know. I don't think he's good, but I think the team will pay for him. And if they're not, if the 49ers are not starting or are starting Jimmy G again this coming season, then that's obviously a very big concern for, all that draft capital last season they invested.
If you're going to be starting Jimmy Garoppolo, then trade Trey Lance while he still has value.
Right.
It doesn't make sense to have drafted a quarterback at number 2 overall just to keep an undrafted, very underwhelming quarterback as your starter.
Jimmy G is not. I don't see him being in San Francisco much longer.
No, I'm sorry. I got my Eastern Illinois quarterbacks mixed up. I'm pretty sure Jimmy Garoppolo was a 4th-round pick. Tony Romo was the undrafted Eastern Illinois quarterback. Yeah. Yeah. That's correct. But let's move on for the sake of finishing this up this week. Seattle Seahawks traded for quarterback Drew Lock. Problem solved. Get that shitbag Russell Wilson out. Bring in the Lock.
A plus offseason. They are winning the Super Bowl this year.
Underwhelming, shitty running game. Re-sign Rashad Penny. bring Noah Fant over in that draft. Also, overpay Will Dissly. Hell yeah. They also signed center/guard Kyle Fuller, former Chiefs center Austin Blythe, defensive tackle, Al Woods, defensive tackle Quentin Jefferson, defensive lineman Shelby Harris via that trade for Russ. Chargers linebacker Uchenna Nwosu, corner Sidney Jones, corner Artie Burns, corner Justin Coleman, and the only move besides bringing in Noah Fant that wasn't a complete head-scratcher, re-signing Quandre Diggs. So, very underwhelming.
Yeah, they have not done anything, and they are in a whole heap of trouble.
Yep. Yeah.
It looks like a lot of people are jumping ship.
Yeah, no, it was time for a rebuild probably last year when they would have gotten even more value for Russell, I think. They still got decent value for him. They're obviously hitting the reset button. I think as part of hitting that reset button, I would say Carroll, Pete Carroll, thanks so long and thanks for all the fish. Because I just don't see him, manning a rebuild well.
He's 75 now, right?
70-something, yeah. I think it's time to do a full reset, not just a partial.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. I understand them not making a lot of moves because you're going to have to be a bit of a bottom feeder team this year and next year at least before you're looking to start putting any sort of competitive team back together.
It is going to be a while.
Chris, I don't see Pete Carroll being there by the time that happens. I think he's going to have to go well before that.
Yep. And by the way, I just want to say, I told so many people that I think because of this thing with Antonio Brown that Bruce Arians was going to retire or quit, and he did.
I guess you're right there.
I thought they were going to put Byron Leftwich in charge, but I guess I was wrong about that.
Well, Bulls they could probably keep Leftwich. I don't know. He might jump ship with Brady next season.
Who knows? Maybe. And we'll keep an eye on that because it's still rumored Brady to San Francisco or Brady to Miami. So we'll see.
No chance.
We'll see. We're going to move on to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers now. We got 3 teams left. We can finish this up. They bring back running back Leonard Fournette, 3 years, $21 million. They re-signed wide receiver Chris Godwin, 3 years, $60 million. Here's where I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant. If you want to see that people hate the Cowboys because they're the Cowboys, look no further than people saying Amari Cooper, who is still a top 7 to 10 wide receiver in the NFL, is not worth $20 million a year. Yet they have no problem with Mike Williams getting $20 million and no problem with Chris Godwin getting $20 million. So...
yeah, okay. I mean, I can see your argument.
And then Christian Kirk getting whatever the fuck he got.
Kirk here is the odd man out of like talent season is worth whatever they're getting.
It's like $23.75 million a year.
The Jaguars.
Oh my god. Anyways, Brashad Perriman, Aaron Stinney. They brought in Russell Gage. I think that's a solid replacement for Antonio Brown. They brought in Shaq Mason. They re-signed Ryan Jensen and Carlton Davis, and Logan Ryan reunites with Thomas Brady. That's why he came out of retirement, for Logan Ryan. Solid moves. Solid moves. You lose Alex Kappa and what's his name? Ali Marpet. Just fucking...
Technically, they also don't have Gronk currently, but I think the expectation is that he'll run it back with Brady one more time.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, it seems highly likely. I mean, they actually made moves that they needed to make and didn't do a whole lot, but way more influential for what they really needed, because they didn't need much for what they did than some other teams that did a bunch of moves and none of them make any damn sense.
Yeah, I mean, solid free agency for them. Not much to complain about.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they'll be a team. They'll be the team out of the South to be the contenders, obviously, because the South is a mess.
Yeah. We're gonna move on to the Tennessee Titans, the weakest 1 seed in the history of NFL playoffs, in my opinion. They were bad for a 1 seed. Oof. Running back Dontrell Hilliard. Yes, they fixed all their problems. Running back Trenton Cannon. Even more problems fixed. Rams wide receiver Robert Woods. That actually is going to help. Austin Hooper. That's going to help. Jeff Swain. Why? Jamarco Jones. Seahawks losing a offensive lineman. Ben Jones, linebacker Dylan Cole, re-signed Harold Landry for 5 years, $87.5. Buster Screen, they've fixed that defense. Safety AJ Moore, and the biggest signing of all the free agency, Randy Bullock re-signed.
There it is.
Yep.
I don't know what the Titans are really doing this year. I like Hooper and I like the Woods trade, although I don't know exactly what they gave up for him, so I can't say I like it. Other than that, I like Robert Woods. But especially if they lose AJ Brown, this is this will be a real rough off season for them. They're just, it seemed like they're letting basically everybody walk, and not really having much of a plan to rebuild. But as you said, they were not the top team, even though they were 1 seed. And now what? What do you do this year? Other teams that were already stronger than you have gotten stronger, and what moves are you making to compete with them? And I don't really see it.
I don't either.
They obviously believe that they're already a 1 seed, and they didn't think they needed to do much, and they showed it in this offseason. I mean, they made a couple good moves, like you said, but nothing that's really impressive.
They also lost Deontay Foreman, so they are relying very heavily on Derrick Henry and Darrington Evans as their 2 running backs.
Yeah, but they might be feeling themselves a little bit this season just because they were the 1 seed. I feel like they should feel underwhelmed with their performance as the 1 seed, but, I mean, they obviously are comfortable enough with it.
I mean, Ryan Tannehill was bad all season long.
Well, that's because Ryan Tannehill is bad.
All right, we got like 9 minutes before we're going to have to finish this up. So let's just finish this up, Washington Commanders, and then we'll be out, all right?
They didn't ask because of the name. I don't care what else they've done. That name is awful. I hate it so much. And that to me is an off-season move, and I hate it, and they therefore fail.
No, it gets worse. I promise you.
I mean, what do you mean? They got Carson Wentz. He's so
That's
good.
it. It gets worse. Oh man, the funny thing is when Carson Wentz was announced that he got traded back to the NFC East, Darius Slay and Trevon Diggs both tweeted about it using the same emoji, and everyone knew what they were talking about. So,
what emoji did they use?
The side eye emoji.
Yeah.
Everyone knew. Anyways, Washington Commanders should still be the football team. Football team is the best name they've had.
It's way better. It's way better.
Yep. They traded for Colts quarterback Carson Wentz, wide receiver Cam Sims. They did add Andrew Norwell, who has in the past been very good. J.D. McKissick, who is a huge part of that team. Any little quote-unquote success they had. They added defensive tackle Daniel Wise, defensive end Efe Obada, center Tyler Larson, center John Toth, linebacker Milo Eifler, safety Bobby McCain, and re-signing the only active white cornerback in the NFL, Penn State pride Troy Apka.
Well, they do get one win because they released Eric Flowers, so that's a plus.
Yeah. Oh my god.
He was actually okay for them at guard, I think.
He was a good run blocking guard, yes.
Yeah, he can't pass block for anything. Yeah, they lost a whole bunch. You know how people say addition by subtraction? They got subtraction by addition with Carson Wentz.
He's so bad.
he's also just a meathead. Oh man, good on Indy for being able to trade Carson Wentz after that debacle that we saw. Man, I don't know what Washington's doing. I'm happy I only have stock in them in Terry McLaurin, who is quarterback proof.
I don't know about that. Have you seen Carson Wentz?
Wentz is better than who's been throwing the ball to him. Wentz at least targets his top receiver.
I don't know. I'd take Taylor Heineke maybe. I don't know. Fuck it, bring back Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Not for the number one wide receiver. Pittman was fine under Wentz. It was everyone else that suffered. So Terry should be fine under Wentz. Then everybody else will suffer.
My opinion on Washington this year is they're just trying to put a team on the field, plain and simple. Because at this point, there is no bigger sinking ship than whatever the hell is going on in that organization.
And you're gonna
the NFL just need to strip the team from Dan Snyder. Never trusted Dan Snyder.
I didn't do anything. But you're gonna see the effects of how bad this team is when it comes time for Montez Sweat and Daron Payne to get new contracts, because I guarantee they leave.
Why would you want to stay?
I don't know why you'd want to.
No, but nobody clearly does.
Yep. All right. Anything more about the Washington Commanders before we finish up and go to bed?
Nope. There's nothing else to say about it.
All right. We'll go to our This Week in Sports History. As usual, found it on onthisday.com. On March 28th, 1950, the 12th NCAA Men's Basketball Championship is played. City College of New York beats Bradley 71-68. City College of New York becomes first team to win both the NCAA championship and National Invitational Championship in the same year.